All right, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to put this KitchenAid mixer to use for something other than whipping up cake batter. I knew there was a reason I bought this for my wife. I just didn't know it at the time, but it's to juice tomatoes, so I don't have to go through the other process. The first thing that we have to do when we're making our spaghetti sauce is we got to juice the tomatoes. So there's several ways you can go about that. I know some people boil them because you got to take the skins off. I've seen some people put all the ingredients in a pan, put it in the oven, bake it. That works fine too. But I wanted to use this to juice the tomatoes. So I went and bought this. It is a fruit and vegetable strainer. Watched a YouTube video on it, everything. I was like, man, that's the ticket right there. So your juice comes out here and the pulp comes out that side. You get two bowls, you collect both. Win-win. So we got that. So this is what came with it. And the picture shows a little bit more than the hopper. The auger, I guess you could call it the screw that connects to the mixer, and then of course the grater, the strainer. So I'm like, okay, where's the rest of this at? I got to looking at it and I'm trying to put it together and different things, and I'm like, something's missing. Something did not come in it. And of course it tells you right here what comes in it. Well, when I ordered this offline, I looked at that picture and I thought I was getting everything. So be warned, if you go to use one of these, you got to have more than just this piece. You've got to get this as well. This is where you can grind meat and other things like that. So it comes with that piece that I knew I was missing. This piece, because if I was looking at the instructions, which I did, I got them out and I'm like, okay, well, where's that piece and this and that and that? It didn't come with that. So very deceiving. You're gonna have to have one of these and one of these if you plan to do it. If you've got one or the other, I've also heard that if it's an old grinder like this, that they are not compatible with the new strainers. So make sure that when you're getting it, it is compatible. But there's that piece, and of course it comes with these other pieces as well that you use for, you know, grinding up meat and other things. You don't need these parts. All you need is this, and then this piece that comes with the strainer. That goes in there. And then your auger goes on. And now this piece here, you got to watch this piece, make sure you get it lined up, because you got one raised spot there, and then you got one that's indented right there. So you got to make sure that you line it up when you're putting it together. Then this piece screws on, and then of course this piece is where everything falls down in, goes in, and then you've got a little spot right there to line that up, and then of course the top piece where you're putting your tomatoes down in, or whatever you're using. On the front of your mixer, you've got a set screw right here. You just loosen that and then pull that piece off. All of this slides right on there, and then you tighten that set screw back down. You'll have to excuse my horse drinking water over there. All right, so we've got all this set up. Now all we need is to start with making some juice. So we're going to put one bowl here to catch the juice that runs out, And then we'll put another bowl out here on the end to catch the pulp. All right, so they say to turn your mixture on to speed 4. And I'm gonna start with our San Marzanos that we've had in here. I already see some pulp coming out. Well, I guess this is why they give you this piece, so you don't make a mess. All right, moving right along. This is the ticket right here. These are about perfect size for this right here. Unfortunately, we had to wait so long. Some of the San Marzanos we picked had went bad, so we had to run down to local farm right below the house here and pick up some Roma tomatoes to go with it. We got some really nice Romas from the farm right down the road, so we're cutting these up. We're gonna have to put some of these in there as well. We're just not gonna have enough of our San Marzanos, unfortunately, but that's a good looking Roma right there. And these are a little bit bigger than our San Marzanos. I'm having to cut them up so I can make sure I can fit them down in that chute down there. All right, folks, so right quick, taking a little break, I wanted to show you what we're gonna do with our pulp. This is the pulp and the seeds, and this is how we used to do it. This is a miller. You take the tomatoes and you put them in here, and then you spin the blade around, and it does basically what this right here is doing for us. So I don't want to waste any of that, so we're going to try to get a little bit more juice out of this. So we're going to throw some of this in here. Not getting a whole lot, but we are getting a little bit. So I want to get as much of this out of here as I can. I think that thing does a pretty good job. I'm not getting a whole lot. You can see we got a little bit. All right, well that ain't a whole lot, so I'll tell you what, that thing there does a pretty good job. Well, I thought I'd better shoot another video showing you I do know how to cut, because I'm sure everybody's gonna be picking on me about the way I'm slicing. So make sure you got your knuckles up there and the knife is running right along your knuckles. Keep your fingers out of the way instead of doing it like this. But if you're accomplishing it, then go for it. But I figured I better shoot another video showing you, yes, I do know how to slice. Sometimes I just get in a hurry and don't pay any attention and just grab it however I grab it. All right, folks, after we got our tomatoes juiced, we got to start cutting up our ingredients. We got some onions and some bell peppers. I got some shishitos, some mild, some medium, and some jalapenos. They're all mixed in here. And I'm going by my mom's recipe here. I made a copy of it, stains and all, so it's authentic. But calls for 3 large onions, 3 bell peppers, 4 more peppers. I do have some pepper flakes that we had dried out as well that we can add to it. You want 1 head of garlic per pot. Some basil, I gotta go get that. I forgot that, so I gotta go back out there and get some basil leaves. I've already got oregano dried out that we're going to be using, and unfortunately I didn't have enough tomatoes to make my own paste, so I had to pick up some canned tomato paste. So we're going to get started chopping up our veggies, and we'll start with our onions here. These have come straight from the drying rack out there. Haven't even cut the tops off or anything, so we've already had a couple of these that we've used before, and they seem to be doing pretty good. It calls for 3 large onions, whatever onions are your preference. These are sweet yellow onions. And the way I slice my onions, I just slice them right down the middle. The way I like to cut mine is go down through here like this, come to the eye. Don't quite cut the eye. Cut the eye, you'll start crying in the eye. And then once I get everything cut, swing it around this side and then start dicing it up. But if you got you one of these handy dandy little things right here, I'm telling you what, it makes them racket, but they come in handy. You can just push right on top of it and you can just go to town, and it'll just dice it right on up pretty good. So I'm gonna cheat, use the knife to slice it with, and then I'm gonna come back and dice it up really fine with this. All right, then we're gonna cut us up a pepper. Now I know you can take and pop them loose right there and then pull out the seeds. That's how you want to do it. You can get most of it right there. You'll still have a few seeds in there, but it ain't too much. Or you can just slice it up however you like to slice yours. Another little trick also, if you want to save your seeds on your bell peppers, once you pop this loose, you can just take this core right here and keep all the seeds right there on it, and then just set them up to dry. And then once they dry, you can get them off. So try that too. All right, now we're going to cut us up some mild. These are mild green peppers. And we have some of the shishitos in here too. We're going to throw some of them in there. My luck with the way the shishitos are, I'm gonna pick the 10th one and have all of those hot ones in there, but I like a little mixture of color. That's why I went with the other color bell peppers and some jalapenos. Get a few of them. One more of those. That'll be good. Now we'll take the seeds out of the jalapenos. You can take and slice them like that, get you a spoon, scrape them out, or just pull them out with your fingers. You might want to put some gloves on, because the capsaicin, I think that's how you pronounce it, the hot stuff, it'll get on your fingers and you go to rub your eye or something like that. So just be mindful of that if you're going to be messing with hot peppers. Get the garlic. What I like to do, I like to go ahead and cut my burner on and just get all this mixed together really good. Start to get a little bit of caramelization, and then we will dump our tomato juice in here. Don't want to forget our pepper flakes. We're just going to kind of just give it a little sprinkle. We're going to add 1 cup of vegetable oil while this is simmering. This right here is about 5 quarts. But we are going to make a mess. We're going to give this a good stir. We're going to keep it on about medium to medium high heat. And we're going to let it cook for about 30 minutes. And then we got a few more ingredients to add. All right, folks, it's been cooking for about 30 minutes. This pot anyway. I've already got my other pot started over there. And we're going to add the rest of our ingredients now. 4 12-ounce cans of tomato paste. Next, about 3/4 cup of sugar. And then about 1/4 cup of salt. Then we're going to take a tablespoon of oregano. And a tablespoon of basil. Now, I just went out there and I cut me some fresh basil. So we're going to add that to this. Oh, it smells good. All right, we're going to give everything a good old stir. I know this pot is slap full, but as this simmers, it'll start cooking down. The longer you cook it, the thicker it'll get. So once it gets to your desired thickness, you can stop, but I would recommend to simmer it for at least 3 hours. We're going to probably do it 3 to 4 hours depending on what the thickness level gets to. But you want to bring it up to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, turn the heat down and just let it simmer. When you start this spaghetti sauce, this is something that you need to devote your undivided attention to, because you need to continually stir it. If not, it'll scorch, it'll burn, and you don't want that. So for the next 3 to 4 hours, yours truly will be babysitting this sauce, because all the work that went into it, all that early season seed starting, tending the crops and pruning them and picking them and harvest, we don't want all that to go to waste. So this is something that it's a labor of love. A lot of people don't do this anymore. They just soon go to the store and buy the sauce. But I know where, I would say, what, 95% of the ingredients in this sauce comes from, because it came right out of my garden. So you know, there's a satisfaction in knowing that what you're cooking, what you're eating, putting into your body is safe. Folks, we're about an hour and a half into our cooking time. You can see how much it's already started to cook down from the crust that's up on the side. And this is why you got to stir it every so often. There's your sauce. It's starting to thicken up in the bottom, and you don't want that burning. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this is something that you do uncovered. You don't cover this up. You just leave it uncovered. And I've got my burners turned on about 3. Once it started boiling, and I kept turning it down until just got a nice little simmer to it. All right, folks, we are on hour 3 of simmering our spaghetti sauce. This one here is about 30 minutes behind the bigger pot. It's starting to get a little thick, but this pot here is getting really close. Look at that, folks. Well, don't that look good? Makes me want to go get a piece of toast and dip it in there. We're going to give us about at least another 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Just depends. The longer you cook it, the thicker it's going to get. And I like my spaghetti sauce pretty thick, so we might give it another hour, and then we'll start canning it up. We've got our cans in the oven, and about 30 minutes before we start getting ready, we'll turn the oven on 200, get our cans hot. We got a pot of boiling water we're going to put our lids in, and we're going to hot pack these. Stay tuned. All right, folks, I believe we have come to the time where our sauce is just about as thick as I think we're going to get it. Looking really good. Had a little taste test a while ago, and I think we're going to be really pleased with how it turns out. Give it one more stir, and we'll start filling our jars. Like I said, we got our jars in the oven at 200 degrees, and we're going to hot pack these, which means we're just going to take the hot sauce, pour it into the hot jar with a hot lid, seal it, and set it off to the side, cover it like we normally do when we can anything, and it'll seal as it starts to cool. Make sure we wipe our mouth of our jars off. Make sure there's nothing there to get away from getting a good seal. Grab one of our hot lids. A ring. And you just want to hand tighten. One down. Quarts out of the big pot. We got just a little bit left in the bottom. We're going to switch places with the other pot. Scraping the bottom of the barrel. And that's almost perfect. Well, there you have it, folks. 14 quarts of spaghetti sauce. So I appreciate you joining us for this video. Drop us a comment below. Let us know what you think about our spaghetti sauce recipe, and what you like to use in yours, and we can learn from each other and try different recipes. But for now, that's going to do it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care.